Yeah, I'm not in some. Yeah. See? Yeah. Thank you, guys.
I have another CSO over here. His name is Steve Velasco. And we have our special assignment deputies over here on my right-hand side. We have Deputy Bowie, Deputy Felix, and Deputy Schwartz here. So I'll go ahead and hand the microphone off to Councilmember Tom Chavez.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, all set.
Sorry, I was getting trash cans, so that's my job. Well, welcome everyone. What a great crowd we have this evening. I don't know if you're here for the cool or the food or to hear some good information. Probably all three. So thank you for being here. That's awesome. It's. I just want to remind you that how important these meetings are, because by having all of you here, and we've said this many times, all of you are the eyes and ears of Temple City. Our sheriffs, our staff do a great job, of course, in doing what they do. However, they can't do it without your help. So thank you for coming. I hope you'll learn a lot tonight. How many people have been here before? Okay, a few of you. So hopefully you'll learn something new, and those who are first time, hopefully you will learn things. And of course, as they will remind you, they're going to stick around afterwards and help you with any other questions you may have. So again, on behalf of our City Council, thank you for being here this evening, and I hope you have a great time and enjoy the food. And I think they haven't run out, so if you want to get seconds, feel free to go back. All right? All right, thank you very much. Who we turn it up to?
Hi, my name is Deputy Felix. I'm part of the Temple Station SAO team. Thank you guys for being here. Good afternoon. What we're going to be talking about today is calling 911, going into detail as far as what you need to provide when you call the emergency number 911, or we call Temple Station. We're going to be talking about residential burglaries, emergencies, crimes of opportunity, traffic awareness, and if you have any questions, just please hold until the end, and we'll try to get to all of you, okay, and answer all your questions, okay? These are crime statistics from the last 4 years. It goes in detail as far as homicide, rape, robbery, assaults, and stuff like that. I believe that the statistics are on your pamphlet as well. Current crime trends at this moment, it's going to be the residential burglaries, home burglaries, and thefts. Typically, the thefts are coming from unlocked vehicles, okay? That's like our big thing right now, is people leaving items in vehicles and being taken by people, okay? What we're doing to reduce it, we're doing high visibility patrol. Meetings like these are very important because we can spread the awareness, how to prevent it. And then we're working with our detectives, following up on video, and then trying to catch some people. Here's a short video of calling 911 and procedures. Okay.
911 emergency, please, you're being recorded.
Do you know what happens when you call 911? Let's take a look. All 911 operators are Florida State certified and ready to help you through your emergency situation until emergency responders arrive. Your 911 call is automatically routed to the law enforcement agency in your area. Once the 911 operator knows what and where the emergency is, emergency response units are dispatched to the location. While the emergency units are on the way, the operator will continue to ask questions to get specific details about the emergency and may give you specific instructions to follow. It is very important that you stay on the line with the operator and answer all the questions to the best of your ability. Don't hang up until the operator instructs you to do so. This is the best way to ensure the correct emergency assistance will arrive on the scene. All the information is forwarded to the emergency responders so they are prepared when they arrive on the scene. The goal during every 911 call is to get the correct emergency response to the correct emergency location as quickly as possible. As a 911 caller, you are a very important part of that process. Listen carefully to the 911 operator. Answer all the questions to the best of your ability, follow any instructions given, and don't hang up until you are instructed to do.
Okay, when you're calling 911, I know it may be like an emergent situation, but the best thing to do is to stay calm and speak clearly so the operator can hear you. Now, when you call 911 and you're in the vicinity of Temple City, it's going to go straight to our Temple Sheriff Station dispatch. So our operators there, our dispatchers will answer the call there. When you're calling 911 and you happen to be in a different city, it will go to their nearest dispatch center, or when you're on the freeway, it will go straight to CHP. And they just got to tell them what your location is, and they'll direct you to the correct location, okay? But if you're in Temple City and you call 911, your phone call will go straight to our dispatch center here in Temple City, Temple Sheriff Station. So when you call, you want to stay calm. You want to give the first thing they're going to ask is your location, okay? You want to give as close as location that you can. If you don't know your location, you want to give landmarks. Like if you're at a store, you don't know what the store address is, which a lot of people don't. You want to say, the store name and the stores around it, landmarks, cross streets, anything that you can provide so the dispatcher can dispatch the units. And most of the times we work the city, we'll be able to locate you. And they're going to ask several questions. What's happening? The description of the suspect, if there is one, your description, maybe sometimes even what you're wearing, so the deputies can locate you and get more information. So, very important too is when you call 911, it's important to stay on the line. A lot of people tend to call and then hang up, but our dispatchers will have several questions for you. It's just better to get information and details while we're responding there. It doesn't mean that it's delaying our response. We're already on our way there to you as soon as you call. It's just getting more information of how to prepare if the person left, if they're the suspect, if they left in a vehicle, on foot, on a bicycle. They will ask you those questions. If you don't know it, it's okay. But it's good to know, that way we can coordinate or even get, a helicopter if we need to try to apprehend these people, okay? They're gonna ask several instructions, especially when it's a medical emergency. The fire dispatcher will guide you through the CPR process or any type of medical first aid to provide to your loved one or whoever you're calling for, even yourself. And same thing, don't hang up until they tell you to do so, or until the emergency personnel is there, okay? This is another video about texting 911, which is another option.
Text 911 is now available in Los Angeles County. If you are unable to speak, or if it isn't safe to do so, text a message to 911 as you would any other number. You'll be connected to the nearest 911 dispatch station, which will coordinate emergency response, whether you need police, fire, or an ambulance. Text 911. Call if you can, text if you can't.
Okay, real quick with this video. So if you're unable to call, you're in some type of situation at school or at home, and you're afraid to call, whether it be a domestic violence type situation or at school, anything, you can actually text 911 and it will go to our dispatch center again in Temple Sheriff Station. They'll be able to text you back and we can communicate with you that way also. You can just text us an address and tell us what's going on. We'll already have units on their way to you. It could be a medical emergency or any type of other emergency or anything, but we will get your text messages. We'll reply back to you via text also, and then that way We'll attempt to call you also, but we understand sometimes you can't. But that's a big option here too, okay? And I'm going to pass on to my partner here talking about residential burglaries and how to prevent them, okay?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Deputy Swartz. I'm part of the Temple City SAO team. My portion today is we're going to go over ways to protect your house to prevent residential burglaries, okay? Big one thing that I see, you guys do have this, but just from what I've seen driving around is a lot of times people have their garages open, just completely open. It has an interior door inside your house as well, and I see that as open too. If people are out looking to try to commit these crimes, they're going to be looking at residences like this, okay? That people have their windows completely open, stuff displayed, garage doors completely open, front doors unlocked too. You'd be surprised how common that is, where people leave their doors unlocked when they leave their residence. I know a lot of you guys might read the crime blotters and see residential burglaries. A good portion of them are residences that are unlocked or their windows are completely open as well when they leave. Another thing is, if you are on vacation, don't post on social media. Now with this day and age, everything is online. Don't post on social media that you are out of town, out of the country, because someone that could be on the internet could be looking at that. A big one too is having video cameras around your house. That definitely prevents people from coming to your house. They'll go to a house that doesn't have any cameras. Also, floodlights. If you guys have lights around your house, anything motion activated, that additionally helps people that are looking. Another thing that we see too is electrical boxes on the side of your house. A lot of people have those, okay? Not a lot of people have a lock on there. Just a simple $10 lock at most. Lock those electrical boxes. What a lot of people do is, these people that are committing these crimes, is they'll go straight up to your electrical box, open it, turn off all the power. Now you don't even know that your power is off if you're at work or if your cameras are even working. So that is a big one that I really would vouch on, is just please buy a lock and lock your electrical box. We've seen it on cameras before where people have video cameras. They walk up to the electrical box, they see that there's a lock on it, and they leave, okay? Okay, a big one is do not open any doors for strangers, right? We're here, our Sheriff's Department, we're open 24/7. If you feel suspicious that someone is knocking on your door, trying to sell something, don't open up the door. You could just call, the non-emergency line, and deputies will come out, they will check the area, and they will contact you, okay? Do not keep a large amount of cash or expensive jewelry in accessible areas, okay? Try to buy a safe, and if you do buy a safe, have it bolted on the ground. A lot of people, they buy a safe, it's not bolted. It does nothing if it's not bolted on the ground, or if you have a lot of valuable items where you can just pick up that safe and leave. Okay, again, just how I said earlier, try not to post anything on social media. If you've just bought something expensive, people want to show it off, just try not to do it, or if you're out of town. Okay, if something does happen, call 911 immediately if something is happening in progress, or you can call the non-emergency line, the 626-285-7171, and that'll go straight to our dispatch. Some of our best arrests are based on neighbors calling in suspicious vehicles or something that just does not seem right in the neighborhood. You guys know your street more than us. You guys know what kind of cars your neighbors drive. If you see something suspicious, a big one too is what these criminals are using are blacked out tinted windows. If you see something suspicious and you know it's not your neighbor's car, okay? If you see a car with no license plates on it, very blacked out tinted windows, call it in. If you feel like this car does not belong in your neighborhood, call it in. We will come out and try to find that car, and we will contact you, okay? It's good to know too if your neighbors have any video cameras as well. So if we do come out, we do have to take a report. We will canvass the area, but again, time is very crucial when it comes to these, right? So if we know your neighbor already has cameras, if you know your neighbor has cameras, let us know. We'll start contacting them, and then we can work it up from there. So that's very important. A lot of times we come out, neighbor has video cameras, we try to contact them. People don't know their neighbor. They don't even know their first name. So if you can, try to reach out to your neighbors, people in the area, get to know each other, okay? That's a big one. To stay informed, every week we have a crime blotter. It comes out with everything that has happened in the city. So just so you can kind of see if there is a trend and what we're doing, crimemapping.org. And then if you do want to submit a crime, you don't want to call the station, you could always do crimestoppers.org, and that is on your pamphlet that you have right here. And these are some of the numbers in case you need to call just regarding child abuse, elder abuse, mental health, domestic violence, that's a big one. So these are the numbers. They are also on your piece of paper if you do need to reach out. And then I'm going to pass it over to Fernando for natural disasters.
Alright everyone, I'm going to talk about putting together a disaster supply kit. Things like earthquakes, flooding, major power outages. These are things that you want to have on hand, whether that's at home, at work, or in your car, just in case an emergency does happen. Before I go into more of the kits and how to build them and what to include in them, we do have a El Nino weather watch coming up this upcoming winter season. Between the months of November and January, we're expecting a lot of rain. So that might not necessarily mean that you need to have an emergency kit, but if you find yourself in an emergency and first responders can't get to you, having that kit with you is going to save us a lot of time and a lot of resources. So have a plan, keep supplies, hazard mitigation, and getting training. So we'll start with having a plan. So a disaster plan. So when an emergency happens, you and your family members should have an idea of where you guys want to meet. If a family member is not home with you at the time of an emergency, it's a good idea to have a certain location that's local, maybe halfway between where that person might be and where you are, to meet and to coordinate during an emergency. Having an escape plan, that's a great idea to have during a fire or during an earthquake. If your house is structurally unsound after an earthquake, knowing where to exit your home or workplace is something that you need to have in the back of your head, just in case. Keeping supplies. So I mentioned that you want to kind of have a kit with you at home, at work, or in your vehicle. Let's say you're at home, you're just watching TV, and an earthquake hits. Or let's say the neighbor's house is on fire and you got to evacuate. Having a kit or your personal documents with you handy is going to be essential for you to evacuate your house and get to safety. Let's say something happens at work. Not everyone works close to home. So you're not going to be able to go home, grab your kit, and find safety, right? So having an idea of where your emergency exits are at work, and possibly where a first aid kit is at, fire extinguisher, things like that are important to have when you're at work. And same thing in the car. You're on the freeway, an emergency happens where you're not able to go home or work. Having a first aid kit with you, having a fire extinguisher with you are things that you want to keep in mind. Hazard mitigation. So this involves structure, building structure. So you want to kind of have an idea of where the safest place might be in an emergency. If you live near a football field or something like that, that's also a good point of reference if you're trying to get hold of your family members and you guys need to meet at one location. And getting trained. So we have a lot of courses that not necessarily the city offers, but the city recommends that you look into. For our community emergency response team, that's a group of members in our community that are properly trained to respond to emergencies within their city and or outside of the city if needed. And the American Red Cross does provide more training on how to triage in case of a major emergency where you need to actually help your fellow neighbor or help a family member in a disaster. So a few things to highlight, to include in the kit would be, of course, a couple of gallons of water for yourself, your family members, pets, younger children. Having a flashlight, radio are things that we're commonly referred to, but you never know in the case of a disaster, you might need to pull out that radio to get critical information. For example, the emergency broadcast system might direct you to a certain location or a certain area if you're seeking aid. Let's see. Having ability to charge your phone as well. Not necessarily will you need to have your phone with you, but if the phone lines are still up and running during an emergency, having that way to communicate with a family member and being able to charge your phone in order to get a hold of them is important to have in your kit as well. Here's a quick video of certain disasters and certain items in your kit that you might want to take a look at.
Disasters can strike at any time. You may need to survive on your own for several days. Preparing an emergency survival kit with your own food, water, and other supplies can keep you and loved ones safe until help arrives. To assemble your kit, put your entire disaster supplies kit in 1 or 2 easy-to-carry containers such as plastic bins or a duffel bag. Here are the must-have items. Water. Make sure you have at least 1 gallon per person per day, both for drinking and for sanitation. The more water you can fit into your bin, the better. Food. Choose non-perishable food, something that can be eaten right out of the can, like vegetables, pasta, or chili. Don't forget a manual can opener. Flashlight. Make sure you have extra batteries.
This is the No Weather Radio All Hazard.
A weather radio. A hand-cranked radio is best, but if it takes batteries, make sure you have a fresh set. There are even some radios that have flashlights and USB ports for charging devices such as cell phones. A fully stocked first aid kit. Check expiration dates each year and replace anything that is expired or soon will be. Be sure not to forget about your pets and your little ones. Remember to include diapers, infant formula, medicine, bottles, and any other necessary essentials for your children. For pets, keep extra food, collapsible bowls, and medicine with your kit. And speaking of medicine, keep several days' worth of any prescriptions and over-the-counter medications in your kit for all members of your household. Once you've assembled your kit, be sure to store it in a cool, dry place like your kitchen pantry that's easily accessible to all members of the household. Check your kit every few months to ensure expired items are replaced and that the kit is updated to meet any new household needs. After assembling and storing your home emergency kit, consider assembling one for your workplace and your car. You never know where you'll be when a disaster hits, so you need to be prepared no matter where you might be. For a complete list of items and ideas about how to build your kit, visit ready.gov/kit.
So another important thing to highlight in that video is having your emergency kit accessible to you. If you have a large family, then you want to let each member know where exactly that kit is located. Having them located in a garage or an upstairs towel closet, things like that. You want to let every member know where it's at in case of an emergency. So again, rule of threes, you want to have 3 kits on hand, ready for an emergency, at home, at work, or in the car. You want to have 3 days of supplies per person. That includes the water, the food, and utilities such as flashlights, radios, things like that. At home, you want to prepare to be on your own for 10 to 14 days. That's a good estimate of when emergency services can get to you. For example, in an earthquake, when roadways are blocked, or during flooding events when trees are knocked down and roadways are closed. Having a kit at work so that it's grab and go scenario. If you need to evacuate your workplace, having a small bag or a small box under your desk or near a locker room, something like that, is easy to grab and get out of there. And the same goes for vehicles. So when you're driving around and an emergency happens, having the kit in your trunk or nearby is going to be critical. This is Alert TC. It's a way to stay connected with the city. The city will put out emergency information if an emergency does occur. So you're welcome to text Alert TC to this number here, and you'll be signed up for that emergency notification. And these are some websites that we included in the presentation slides for you. A big one that we recommend everyone to kind of take a look at when you guys go home today is www.ready.gov. And that's it's everything that I just mentioned today. It shows you how to build a kit, what natural disasters could occur in your area, as well as for each disaster, it'll kind of cater your kit towards that. For example, a hurricane, we don't get hurricanes, but we get windstorms, we get earthquakes, we get fire emergencies. So taking a look at that website is going to be a really helpful way to build a kit for you. Of course, we have redcross.org, and that's a great resource for training purposes and kind of knowing how you can get access to help in the case of an emergency. And I will go ahead and hand it off to Deputy Bowie.
Thanks, Fernando. My portion is going to be crime of opportunity. I know a lot of us have noticed that all this is crime of opportunity. Criminals just somehow win the lottery. I know with everyone going to school, kids are going to school now, it's the school season, we're in a rush. We're in a rush and we forget a lot of the stuff we have. You know, your kids are running late or it's late coming home from school, they leave their backpack, you leave your backpack, you leave something in the car. That's what crime of opportunity is. You're leaving stuff for them to break into your car. That is one of the easiest things for them to do. It's because they're driving around, they're just, when you park your car in the parking lot, you forget, we just leave stuff on your seat, the back seat, on the floorboard. These criminals just walk by and they see it. And they'll break the window and take your property, even though it may have nothing in it. But if you have anything in there, just a bag, a book bag, a backpack, anything, they're gonna break your window and take it, and it'll be less than 30 seconds. You won't even have the time to call 911 or anything else, or no one's actually even gonna see what happened, because it's so quick. So this is a little video of how fast this can be. So don't be a victim. This is education for each and every single one of you as an education, because this happens all the time. We can say this to you every single time, and everyone's just going to tell you this: I was just gone for a minute. And that's how long it takes. Because these criminals, you never know who they are. They could be the one right next to you. You would never even know. Because they see you leaving, especially ladies, apologize, but you guys have purses, backpacks, and stuff that you always carry with you. So when you exit a car and these criminals are in the parking lot, they just notice, hey, this person didn't leave with anything. They just had their drinks in their hand and they walked out, they locked their car and walked away. They'll walk by your car and guess what they're gonna see? Your purse right on the passenger seat, and they're gonna break it and they take all your property. That's how quick this can be. So I'll play the video.
It may seem like common sense, but leaving valuables in your vehicle is risky and is a prime opportunity for thieves to break in. Many vehicle burglaries are crimes of opportunity and temptation. Thieves can see your possessions in the vehicle and decide to help themselves. Avoid this by keeping valuables out of sight, or better yet, removing them completely. You can hide items in your trunk, but be sure to remove them once you reach your destination. Together, we can work to reduce this crime within our city.
As again, if you do leave your stuff in the trunk, do not put it in the trunk right before you leave, because the criminals are going to see, depending on your car, you know, a lot of these cars, you have your metal trunks, you know, aluminum trunks, but your trunk on your Tesla is like glass. They see you putting stuff into your trunk. If If it's glass, they're just gonna break the glass, which they always do, and remove the stuff from the trunk area. So make sure you know where you put your items in. Don't put it right where you're going into the mall. Right before you go to the mall, you put your backpack, you put all your stuff in the trunk. People are gonna see that. So just be aware of that. Because no one's ever has anyone ever been a victim or known someone that has their car broken into? You raise hand. See, there's a few. And because what? There was an item inside. It may have no value or very little value to someone, or it may be very valuable. But it does happen. If you leave it in there, they're gonna find it. So again, vehicle break-ins. Lock your car. It'll be a burglary. If they broke into your car, it's considered burglary. But even sometimes, most of the time, the doors aren't even locked. So keep your doors locked. Keep your valuables out of sight. Don't try to cover it with your blanket, a jacket. These criminals know. Be aware of your surroundings. If you see people around that don't look like they should be there, especially if you're walking in an area and you see people driving around in circles in the parking lot, be aware, because they're just waiting for the opportunity to find a victim to break into. So don't be a victim. Park your car, park in a secure area. You know, a lot of us want to park, far away because I don't want to get my car dinged or anything else. But know where you're parking. It's just like a school of fish. You're always more safe in a big group than by yourself. So try to park where everyone's at or there's people around so that, hopefully that can deter a criminal from breaking into your car. Again, package theft. Now that everyone's going to school, there's no one at home to look at your packages. Be aware of where you have your delivery guys drop off your stuff. Most families have cameras on their homes, but they don't know how to use them. If you have a camera, make sure, hey, your neighbor, call your neighbor, hey, I had a package, come pick it up. But sign up for delivery notifications so you know when it gets there, so that you have that opportunity. Choose a delivery time or window when someone's home. A lot of us, if you have work from home, if you have a family member or someone that you know that lives nearby, have it delivered to your family. Maybe a little inconvenience, but it's an inconvenience that you don't want your package being stolen, and have hopefully just that being stolen, not someone trying to break into your home or take other stuff. Because again, crime opportunity. If they see something more that they can take, they're going to take more. They also have package locks that the mailmen have that you can buy for the mailmen so they can put your packages in, but you never know what size your package is, so they can't put it in, but those always work as well. Delivery instructions are very hard. You remember these delivery guys are going to do the fastest they can to drop off the package and go, so be aware of where they drop off your package. Again, like I said, have your neighbor pick up your package when you see it getting delivered, because it will get stolen if you leave it out, especially some of these homes are very close to the street or a really busy street. It only takes seconds. All they have to do is pull up, someone runs out, runs back into your car, and no one's going to know what even happened. So just be careful. Again, package theft, secure your belongings. A lot of these crimes are actually preventable. We just think, oh, it's not going to happen to me. You leave your property right in front. It's going to get stolen. Your kids' bikes, they forget to put it away at night. Your e-bikes or your e-scooters. You come home, you leave it out on the front lawn, it will get stolen. Avoid displaying high items. Because in the front yard you'll have these nice items. It will actually get taken away as well. And then the next thing we're going to go into is a little bit. We're only going short of cybercrime, cyber fraud stuff. The digital age has actually been ramped up with our cyber fraud and all the frauds. If anyone ever calls you and tells you, hey, you owe them money or you need to give us money, red flag. Red flag. Your bank, everyone else is not going to tell you, I need this from you. If your bank calls you and says, hey, I need you're being a victim of fraud, I need you to give me your account number or everything else, if you realize it, your bank already knows your account numbers. Hang up, call your bank directly. Do not let them give you a number to call, because they have these robocalls where you can call this number and it'll be them answering as well. So do not call a number that they give you. Everyone has the opportunity to call their own bank and say, am I a victim? Or, my sister's calling me saying, hey, your brother's in jail, I need money. Send me money. But you don't even know who that is telling you to send money, and you're sending money. Do not do that. Again, we do have a big Asian community here. WeChat. Many of you guys have the WeChat, right? That's the worst one. Do not send money. Do not send your information to anyone. Those are going to be the major things that you have, because they're going to scam you every single way. So that's why, be careful on the cybercrime stuff that's on there. Avoid it. Always hang up and verify it yourself. Do not just take their word for themselves, okay? So, next one. Traffic and pedestrians. Again, this is going back when school starts now. Kids are everywhere. E-bikes. Parents, most of your parents, and there's some students here which we appreciate, know what you're buying your kids on e-bikes. So we'll get into that a little more. Distracted driving. Mom, dads, everyone's late to school, running late, gotta go to work. Do not text and drive. You're gonna get someone hurt. Cleaning makeup, eating, because we're so busy, watching videos. Again, we're all on our phones, that YouTube, everyone's gotta watch YouTube while you're driving. So be careful when you're driving, because you're gonna hurt somebody. Everyone goes, all of us know we can't text and drive, correct? But how many people do you still see text and drive? So be aware of that. AB 413 is a new law that came out just in January 2025. It's not been enforced too much, but we're trying to get into it. As you can see, AB 413 is pretty much telling you right here, if you're making a right turn, it's mostly right turns, that there's going to be about a 20 feet gap before you can make that turn. The reason for that is that if you see a pedestrian, you can see him on the corner of turning. As you can see, if you take a left, that doesn't apply. But as you can see, 20 feet is about a car length. So do not park. If you notice that there's a parking spot around the corner, and I don't know if any of you've seen, people actually park all the way up to the walkway, the crosswalk. That is actually illegal. That is the part of the AB 413 applying for that. Okay, especially those sidewalks that have a handicap ramp so you can walk up. That's where that's going to really apply. So be careful of that. It may be starting to enforce, so it can't be enforced. It will be enforced, but it hasn't been enforced very strictly yet. So just be careful. And then on e-bikes, parents, know what you're buying your kids. Don't buy something that, again, you have to do your research, because I'm a salesman and I'm going to tell you, yes, this e-bike is legal to drive. Do your own research, because they're just trying to sell you whatever they can, the most expensive thing they can. There's 3 classifications, type 1, type 2, type 3. Type 1, as you can see, has to have pedals, type 2 doesn't, type 3, it does. And those are just to distinguish what type of bikes. But as you can see, I know the picture's a little grainy, but if you see this one, this is those motorcycles. They're off-road dirt bikes, they're electric dirt bikes. Those are illegal completely. They are not street legal at all. Those are recreational vehicles only, so they can only be going on actually public land made for it. It's not even going on park trails or anything like that. Those are actually illegal on park trails. You have to be 16 years of age. You actually have to have a driver's license to even drive it. And then some of these ones, the type 1, I believe, is because it has a wattage that none of these e-bikes or e-scooters can have more than 750 watts. 750 watts is the speed that it can go. Anything over that, you would actually have to have a valid driver's license. We know that a lot of kids, each one of them have helmets, but do you actually see the kids wearing them? They don't. It's your responsibility as parents to make sure they do the right thing. We are actually doing school events right now where I personally and my team, we personally go to the high schools and schools, and we actually go into the, I guess, the bike racks. And I don't know if any of you met, but I've gone through a couple of schools, and I've actually, the school and I have confiscated most of the bikes because of the laws that you see all these kids on their bikes, right? Because my son or daughter, they never do anything bad, right? They would never do those wheelies that you see or hurt anybody, but it does happen. So what we're doing is what we're calling, myself and the school will confiscate the bike, and we'll have a parent come in and take the bike so that we can let you know, and this is the bad part. We're advising you that your son or daughter has an illegal bike that they cannot ride. So that's what we call a watch advisement, where I'm legally telling you that this is an illegal bike, they should not be driving it, because once you know, and you can't say I was never notified, once you know that that is an issue, and your son or daughter continues to ride it, or they have it, the parent may be charged with child abuse and child endangerment, because you already know that it's a danger and you continue to let them do that. That's why if you notice that I believe it was in Huntington Beach or Irvine, where the mom was prosecuted for that, is because she was told and she was warned that that was an illegal bike, and her son actually killed somebody. So you're responsible for your son and daughter at their age. So just be aware. And then safety information for e-bike. CHP, if you get this QR code, CHP actually has the free class, but we don't know how often it is they have it. But it's a free class for training for e-bikes. You know, it takes time. Parents have to go out and teach their kids and take them out. But there is classes for you to learn how to ride safely. Because they are a motor vehicle, they have to obey the rules of the road, just like any car. So I don't know if 13-year-old, 10-year-old would know the rules of the road. That's why you have to educate them. So I believe this is the end of that's the end of that part. But again, our community, you all live in Temple City. We actually have a volunteer opportunity for you. Each and every one of you can work in the city of Temple City as a volunteer for the Sheriff's Department. It's not easy. It's a lot of work because you have to be trained. You have to go through a background. You have to be trained to learn how to use the cars. You have to learn how to use our radios. You have to use our lingo. It's not law enforcement, but it's pretty little bit of law enforcement that you have to learn because you can't just go out and do anything. You are not going to do any law enforcement action. There's no law enforcement action that you're going to do. You're just going to go out, like, for example, what my partner said earlier, if you go on vacation and you put a note that says, hey, we're going on vacation, it only goes to the Sheriff's Department too. It only stays within the Sheriff's Department. We will see that you're on vacation, and if that volunteer is on patrol that day, he will actually drive up to your house in uniform, a volunteer uniform, and check out your house and make sure it's okay, and if there's any issues, they will call law enforcement to deal with. But it is a lot of work. We have Deputy Johnson here. He's at Temple Station. His number's right there, his extension. So if you want to try to do that volunteer program, you're more than welcome, and he will explain everything to you, the process and everything else. I believe that's going to be the end of our slide. And if we'll take a few questions for time.
Thank you, Deputy Bowie. We're going to have a raffle in a few moments. So please ask the deputies any questions that you guys have, any questions about emergency kits. I have my partner handing out pens, so if you fill out that survey, once you're done with that survey, just raise your hand. We'll come and collect your survey and we'll hand you a raffle ticket, and we'll begin the raffle in a few moments.
So do you have any questions? Yes, no, in the back. Yes. Oh, that's a good question, ma'am. Her question is, can e-bikes go on the sidewalk? So, her question is a good question. Can e-bikes ride on the sidewalk? No, they're not allowed to be on the sidewalk. They actually have to be on the roadway. Again, it's a very slippery slope on that one. If you have you're riding your bike with your 10, 12-year-old, not likely going to ride in the middle of the street. It's a slippery slope. Yes.
Are you enforcing the laws regarding the e-bikes that are driving on the sidewalk or the wrong way against traffic?
If we can leave it one question at a time so we can all hear the question and all hear the answer. And if there's time for individual questions, we can deal with those as well.
Yes, ma'am. We will always enforce all the laws as soon as we can. It's just that it's very hard for us to catch them when we don't see them as well. If, you know, we have 5 square miles and kids are all over, but we do, if they are doing something illegal and dangerous, of course, we will enforce the law the way we have to. Ma'am, did you have a question?
Yes. So this is regarding residential burglary. So my house was broken into 3 weeks ago, and I was told from the sheriffs that came to our house that I was going to be receiving a call from an investigator or detective. But it's been 3 weeks, and no phone call, no follow-up. So how do I know if my case is ongoing or if it's being dismissed because no one was hurt? How do I follow up with that?
It's a great question, ma'am. I'll get your address. I don't want to say it to everyone else here, but we will take a look into it. We, as my partners, we all actually go through all the reports, and we will go through it. We should have seen something, so we'll double check with you in a bit with that one at the end. Sir?
I noticed that you guys have some new speed limits, which I like because you're lowered, you know, because I know a lot of people have tendency to speed in the residential area. So I think that's a good thing. And as far as the kids, when there's, especially in with their school days on sidewalk, are the bicyclists supposed to dismount the bike so don't create a hazard? You know, when they're on the sidewalks?
Okay, so the situation with the bikes or e-bikes on the sidewalk, so there's technically no city ordinance or California Vehicle Code that the bicycles are not allowed on the sidewalk, so they are allowed to ride on them. Same with e-bikes, but the e-bikes and obviously the bicycles have to be legal. Okay, so I understand that sometimes it gets a little kind of dangerous when there's a bicycle or e-bike on the sidewalk. If it's an illegal e-bike, it's not allowed even on the road, on the sidewalk, anywhere on the street. So that'll definitely be enforced. But as far as a bicycle or a legal e-bike that's legally ridden with the helmet or not or anything, they are allowed to be on the sidewalk, unfortunately.
My concern is when there's people walking on the sidewalk, and people also riding a bike, you know, cross-talking on the sidewalk, you know, collision with pedestrians.
Yeah, so that situation is a little tricky. So if there's a bicycle, obviously it's preferred to be walked, but legally they are allowed to be on the sidewalk, even though there is a designated, like some streets have designated bike lanes. But obviously, if they're legal and they're on the sidewalk, then technically they're allowed. They can, as long as they're not riding recklessly or anything like that. But if it's a daily occurrence or anything, obviously we suggest you call the station and we'll do it directly. Okay. But if any illegal e-bikes, or if you don't know if it's legal or not or anything, you can always call and then we'll address it. Okay. Yes, sir.
How about those scooters? Are those considered e-bikes?
So the e-scooters, they're a different classification. So those are technically not allowed on the sidewalk because they're not considered bicycles. So that's still like a gray area as far as vehicle code violation, because they haven't developed or done anything assigning scooters per se. But any scooter on a sidewalk is not legal.
Those scooters also, those scooters also can speed up fast enough. Do they need license?
They can. So for any scooter, it's not legal. So I know some of them can go really fast.
They modify.
But yeah, some of it go as fast as even like an e-bike or anything like that. But yeah, that's not legal. Okay.
So are the police can cite them up?
So yeah, if we observe them in person, then yes, we would try to catch up to them, and if we see a violation, obviously stop them. If you see them and obviously if no law enforcement is around and you think it's a nuisance or a danger, or you think a collision might happen, or it's between when people are across the street or something, you can always call the station and we will go out there and try to locate them. Any other questions?
Yeah, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Could you bring up the statistics again? I don't know.
Yes, yes.
Just for the crime. And what is the city and the sheriff's doing about all of them? Especially the burglaries.
So, he's close the laptop.
Commando?
He'll bring it back up.
Thank you.
So as far as crime, so obviously we're a designated team. So as far as crime in the city, us three are the designated special assignment team for Temple City only. Obviously we have our patrol vehicles that go and answer calls for service and stuff like that. So far this year, the last couple months, including the month of January, has been the lowest statistically Part 1 crimes of this year so far. Not saying that there isn't any crime, not saying that the burglaries are all-time low or anything like that, but with the burglaries, which is a focus right now, the numbers have declined. However, we don't really mention it in meetings or anything like that as far as who we have in custody or who we're looking into or our investigations, just because it's classified and we don't want to put out information that may be leaked or anything like that. But we do a lot of undercover work, high visibility patrol. If you have suggested areas where you think where you see suspicious vehicles, obviously we recommend that you call. We've made these flyers, some residential burglary flyers. We actually modified our neighborhood watch slide to focus more on the burglaries to help residents out and like kind of tips, cameras, calling the station if they see anything suspicious, anything like that. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're.
So one thing is there's been actually numerous arrests with residential burglaries. A lot of the reasons why we don't go out and we say it's because it's burglary crews, okay? These burglary crews are broken up into different micro crews within it, okay? So a lot of times if you see that there's been 12 burglaries, there have been arrests behind those burglaries, but with the investigations, with the detectives, with different units on the departments, which we have a lot of different units, major crimes and a whole bunch of other units, they don't come out and they don't say because we're trying to get those other crews as well. Additionally, if you do see that residential burglaries are on there, that doesn't always mean that a house was broken into. The way that we write it on the department to try to track these crews and try to make arrests is if someone is in your backyard and we believe that they were trying to attempt, we write it as an attempt burglary and it does go down on there as a residential burglary, even though no one made entry into the residence. That's just what we do here to try to catch these crews. People tend to have a same motive. People that get released from prison, if their MO is stealing cars, they're gonna go back to stealing cars. If people are breaking into residences, they're gonna go back breaking into residences. So that's why we do that, to try to pinpoint it based on cameras and then working with different departments, units within our agency. So I hope that answers your question.
Sure. I mean, I think just a little bit more presence, right? We don't see police patrolling our area as much as we did maybe 10, 12 years ago, right? So maybe a little bit more presence from the city would help us out a lot.
So, and then have you ever just called, hey, I want a patrol check in this area?
I have.
You have? And you've never seen a unit come by? Or
who knows? You know, I could be asleep, I could be, you know, whatever. I mean, you guys could have drove by just as easy as the burglars, right?
Yes,
It
sir.
only takes a blink of an eye.
Yes.
I mean, has happened.
So I'll get with you after and I'll talk to see where you live and then we'll go from there.
Hi, I'm Brian Cook. I'm the city manager. I work for these guys here. One of the things that we've done and the city council has done is we've expend the most amount of money we spend on our general fund, which are like your general checking account. The most amount of money we spend on are these folks here. The LA County countywide has a moratorium on us hiring more of these team members. These team members, Bowie, Schwartz, and Felix are outstanding, and they do a great job. And we give them as much overtime as we can. So it is not necessary, and generally speaking, the field of law enforcement now, while the latest recruiting class to the LA County Sheriff's Department is one of the highest they've had in several years, there is not a ton of law enforcement personnel going through the system, going through recruitment and supplementing and backfilling the retirements they have right now. But please know that across the board, it is not an issue of the city of Temple City not funding law enforcement. We are funding it fully. We are giving them all the resources that they need financially to do their job. And these guys do a great one with that. So appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm sure they're doing a great job, you know, but there's 3, and it's a big city.
So on top of the 3 that we have here, just I won't go into big detail, but our contract with the LA County Sheriff's Department, this is Francis, Ben, and Ignacio are part of a specialized team. This is a specialized team in Temple City. Beyond that, on a day-to-day basis, 24/7, there's a patrol vehicle, there's a traffic vehicle. Throughout the 7-day work period, 7 days of the week, there is presence in Temple City. It's not just when they're off, it doesn't mean there's no one present in the city. There's patrol, there's traffic, and a lot of times too, what we'll have is major crimes. Major crimes from downtown will be doing activities, which obviously, as the deputies noted, we can't go into because they're tracking current criminals. So there is a lot of resources behind having the LA County Sheriff's Department as Temple City's police department here. So we stack our patrol and we stack our traffic, and in addition to that, we have our special assignment team. Our special assignment team works hand in hand with all the patrol deputies that you see patrolling the city as well. They're not necessarily having to take a call for service when a call comes out for a single event or an event that doesn't need multiple cars. They're trying to deal with some of the broader community issues as well. So please know that across the board, not only with the contract itself, but what the city and the city council has allocated as funding, we are giving everything and then some, and they're using it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Cook. With that, you have to understand, you go, like Mr. Cook had said, you're lucky. Temple Station, the Sheriff's Department is one of the greatest departments because I work for it. We all work for it. But you have to remember how Mr. Cook had said that there's the crime car, your regular cars. Just know that if your house is being burglarized, and it's now, we know it, you will actually have approximately 10 to 12 cars here at any given time. Even more, depending on how the call goes. So the Sheriff's Department, we can pull resources from Rosemead, Duarte, our county areas. We all support each other for when we have a good call, we all respond. But you have to realize we have to get the information. If we don't get the information and we don't get it now, and like my partner had told you earlier, how we catch them is because of the neighbor. The neighbor saw 3 ninjas going to someone's backyard that they know that doesn't belong to them. Before an alarm company can call, before anything else can call, that neighbor called and gave us the information, hey, there's this car, this whatever car, A to B, C, is there. It dropped off 3 ninjas that jumped in the backyard of my neighbor's house and this house. We get every resource we can to be out there. We get the helicopter and everything else out there. It's just that we need to know that so we can send the resources. So that's why you'll always have more when it comes out, like an emergency call, you'll always have more Sheriff's Department than you would actually have. So I don't know if any of you ever seen us respond to call and you go, man, where do all those police cars come from? That's the resources that the Sheriff's Department gives to the city.
Any other questions for this evening? If not, we'll be around for a little bit. Yes, Jim.
This is kind of off the subject, but all three of you have a very dangerous job. Are you glad you became a deputy? What keeps you up at night that you can't get a good night's sleep? Are there dangers involved that keep you awake? Do you have a good family life? Is it difficult being a deputy?
Is it difficult? Yes. It's difficult, obviously, not knowing whether we're going to make it home at the end of the day, obviously. It's difficult schedule. It's not always easy because we do have mandated overtime, so we do work a lot, different hours of the day. We treat this city like our own, like as if we live in it. So we do work various, one day we may work at 6 in the morning to the afternoon. The next day we may work 6 in the afternoon to 2 in the morning. So yeah, it's a difficult schedule, but obviously we love what we do. That's why we do it. But the things that keep us up at night, obviously, it's obviously making it home, treating like this city like if we live in it, because we're here the majority of the time, just sometimes even more than we are at home. Yeah.
Is it difficult working a 16-hour shift?
16, yes, just because obviously we're in full uniform, 40 pounds of gear all day in the hot sun. It's sometimes 100-degree weather. It's cold. We don't always get to eat when we want to. We deal with, the way I see it sometimes is you may have stuff going on at home, but then you're at work and having to deal with somebody's probably worst day of their life also. So you kind of have to switch that mindset of turning off your own emotions and then helping out the person you're that's having the worst day. So.
Good. Thank you.
No, just echoing exactly what my partner said. But the reason why we're in it is just it's a rewarding job, very rewarding. Not everyone calls us just to say hi. It's when they're having their worst day. So, but it is very rewarding helping out people and then also catching these criminals that are up to no good, and where good people like you guys are victims. So it's a very rewarding job.
Well, thank you, Jared, for putting us on the spot on that. But it is one of the most difficult jobs. It's real difficult because we always say we try not to take it home. But if you all are here, we all have family. You are family, we have family as well. We feel your emotions when it's your worst day. We have to take it in. You have to imagine, in our department, I'll just let you know, in your life you will have probably 10 critical incidents that you will deal with in your life that's life-changing. We will actually probably see 500 in our career. And we have to try to take that and turn, like my partner said, turn it off. That's one of the hardest things to turn it off when we have family as well. Because when we see an incident, we think of our own family as well. How would we want to work with our family? So that's one of the hardest parts of our career, to try to turn it down. The reason why I'm Deputy Sheriff is because I want to help our community. I know we don't have very many Asians, in our community, so that's why I want to be a part of it, so I can help my community and my culture. Because when a lot of the adults, our first generation here in the United States, when you see someone Asian that you can see, you feel a different comfort that you can handle, so that you're more open. Because when you see someone that you're not familiar with, you're not as open to. So that's why I became a sheriff, so I could help the community. And again, the most rewarding part is actually truly when we can actually take out bad guys. We love taking people, bad guys to jail. It's because it's rewarding. They did something to someone that we can actually do something about. That's the best part of that job, that we can keep on going to do our job and helping the community. Just anything to do to help the community is why I keep on coming back.
Thank you.
Well, I don't look good in an orange jumpsuit, so please leave me alone unless I do something that you can't ignore. Any other? Let's just one more question, and then we'll be here for a little bit longer for any individual. If you don't feel comfortable with any group questions, we'll be here.
Brian, you're in charge of the Temple City funding. this been like this for a long time.
You told me about that
I
before, and we're on
understand.
top of it.
And on, here, we're gonna be back on
We got you.
November.
I got you. Don't-
By
we'll get
November,
there.
I don't
We'll
want
get
our
there.
Jerry get tripped, you know?
We got you. Any other last questions? Thanks so much for being here tonight. Thank you to our team, Fernando. Thank you, Steve. Thank you to our deputies, our city deputies. They're outstanding. We'll be around for a few more minutes. Thanks so much.
Is there anyone's survey that I didn't collect, or anyone that doesn't have a raffle ticket would like to participate? Steve, could I get you guys a ticket over there?